YouTube? It's your boy T, and I'm back with another video. And today we're gonna be reacting to about a couple horror cartoon stores, animated stores. And if you're new to the channel, about all y'all new, cause I think I only got about 13 subscribers. If you if you coming back to the channel, welcome back. You know, leave a like, drop a comment, and shit, you know, you make me hit that mother. I hit the motherfucker first. We ain't gonna be watching a video by smoking this, you know, we gotta cut them out. I was smoking on that while I get shit up. It's not too much, but it's get low, get you right every time. It's structure. What are they finna make?
It ain't structure, Chad.
It's low. But, Lord Jesus Christ. Let's get to the video.
I have my office set up upstairs in a small room, with my desk right by a window that faces the front of the house. I liked being able to open it for fresh air, or have the view when it was nice out. This was as fall was just starting, so I pretty much had the window open all day. One regular weekday though, around noon, I was doing my usual work at my desk when I noticed something out the window. There was a person, a man, standing at the bottom of my driveway, not walking past it.
Weird ass nigga. You a weird ass nigga. I'm standing outside my fucking doorstep, bitch. I'm standing outside my doorstep, outside my window. Don't even stand there, shit. You know what I mean? Oh, what you never said? Get into the back.
Not walking past it, or stopping to tie a shoe or anything. He was just standing there and looking up at my house. I couldn't tell if he could see me in the window or not, but after only a few seconds of me looking at him, he walked away. What else was I supposed to think or do?
Think or do. Let me show you what you need to do. You need to grab the 18 on it. Cock that motherfucker back, just like that. Cock that motherfucker back. Boy, you don't get... Big ol' do tricky every time, you feel me?
Nothing else, I wasn't too worried about it. The following day, I was on the same routine. I got to work and was pretty busy the whole day. I had a lot of video calls with my coworkers. During one of these calls, I spaced out and happened to glance out the window again. That man was there, standing in the same spot at the end of the driveway and looking up at the house just like he was before. Something about this time was 10 times more creepy and eerie. Why the hell was he back here? I must have stared off at him for a while, because one of my coworkers noticed I looked worried and asked if everything was okay. I said yeah, and tried to refocus on the meeting. I kept looking back though. He was standing there for a minute.
No, nigga.
And I looked back again.
No, nigga. You standing right there. I would've walked outside, nigga. Boy, fuck you, want, bitch. Oh, yeah, nigga. All in my fucking window looking at shit. With that weird ass shit. Get your ass on, fuck mother.
The rest of my workday felt to drag on. I couldn't stop thinking about this random guy looking up at my house. It was just so odd. When I got out of work, I went outside and walked around my driveway, looking for any reason for them to be looking up at my house like that. Everything looked normal. However, I did notice that the window of my office was visible and clear from where the man was standing, which means he could likely see me looking at him. I went back inside and made dinner. I had a call with my brother that night, and I mentioned it. He agreed it was odd, but said it was likely nothing.
If I call my brother, if I call my cousin, if I tell them a nigga came and looked outside my window twice and a damn pull up,
Get my mind off of it. A couple hours passed. It was maybe 9 p.m. I had the show turned down because I was getting tired, but with the low volume, I was able to hear what I thought were footsteps outside my house. I jolted up from the couch and stared at the front door. The footsteps walked up, only stopping for a brief second, then walked away. I hurried over to the door and looked out the peephole. I could only faintly see a figure walking down to the road. Once they were gone, I opened the door. Immediately, I noticed a note taped to the back. It was short. It just said, "Pat, answer the door." I was not only confused.
Toss the vegetables out the home.
Man, I step off in the club with my mug on me. Outfit on shine, put my chain on beam. With a knot up in my pocket, so I'm doing a pookie lean. Put your hand up in the air, that shit ain't hard in the scene. I pookie lean.
How did they know my name? And what was the note even supposed to mean? They didn't even knock or stay long enough for me to have answered the door. Not that I would have anyway. Enough for me to call the police.
Who would answer the door? Who? But he would answer the door. He would answer.
2 officers came over, and I told them everything. Unfortunately, there wasn't all that much they could do though. They pretty much wrote it all down and said if something else happens, call them. It really didn't make me feel much better. I stayed up late that night, laying in bed, unable to sleep. I literally just laid there for hours, thinking about this man that was stalking my house and the eerie note he left. Then, at just before 2 a.m., a knock at the front door echoed through the otherwise silent house. My body froze up. The silence of the house was now deafening as I listened in fear. After a few seconds, they knocked again. My heart started beating faster. I got my phone and called 911. They sent officers right away, but the knocks continued the whole time I waited. Eerily, they never got louder or more rushed or aggressive. It was just the same knocking, over and over, echoing through the hallways of my home. The operator on the phone updated me that the cops were 2 minutes out, and just after that, there was a longer pause between the knocking. 15 seconds, then 30, then a whole minute passed. When the officers showed up, nobody was at the door. They were too late. Again, I told them what happened, and they seemed to take it a little bit more seriously this time, but it still wasn't enough for them to do anything about it. They said they would have an officer patrol around here for the next couple weeks. Those weeks came and went, and the man never came back up to my door or to the end of the driveway, at least from what I know. It's been months later now, and still nothing else. It still scares the hell out of me though. The thought of the creepy note telling me to answer the door, and then there being knocking at 2 a.m. is just terrifying. Then there's also the thought of them coming back, lingering in my head. I don't know what they wanted, who they were, or if they're truly gone for good.
That was lame ass video. First video. That was lame ass video to me. I ain't gonna lie. Lame ass videos. Knocking in my door, bitch. All it take. Knocking in my motherfucking door at 2 a.m. Bitch, I gotta go to work at 11 in the morning. So, be doing that. Knocking at my motherfucking door. I don't even like my motherfucking call my motherfucking phone. But call it anyway. Knocking at my motherfucking door at 2 in the morning. First of all, bitch, you weird. Fuck you doing standing outside my motherfucking window? And I ain't trying to cuss too much though. Let me stop cussing. I'm just too carried away. We get too carried away. I forgot we were used to. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me, please. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Alright, we back, you know. Apologize for the technical difficulties again. We recording on my iPhone until I get me a camera. So we finna go ahead and speed the little video up. But the goddamn first video, that bit was just 7. All we had to do was just pull out the guide. Pull out the GNX. GNX get them right. GNX get them right.
But when I spotted a car up ahead, it wasn't my parents' car or anyone else's that I knew, and it was just parked right on the trail. This trail only led to and from the house, so someone being on here was unusual. I don't know if I'd ever seen a random car here at all before this. I felt kind of uncomfortable having to pass it. There was a woman inside. She looked 35 or 40, with dark circles under her eyes and shaggy black hair. She glanced at me, but I just looked down.
I would be like, bitch.
I could feel her eyes on me as I walked past, though.
I'm like, bitch, is you cool?
Picked up the pace and got to school. At the dinner table that night, I mentioned it to my parents, asking who it was and why they were
Hey,
there.
low-key, look, see, low-key
Both of
like
them
parents.
looked worried and confused. They told me the woman must have just gotten lost, and I shouldn't worry about it. But I could see the worry in their eyes.
See,
They
low-key
dropped
like
me
the
off at
parents. I
school
was trying to
for the
be
next
serious.
week, which was
And I ain't even
odd
watching
because they
videos.
both started work early, like 6 a.m., so they must have called in late for the entire week just to drop me off. Honestly, I thought that it was an overreaction, as I felt I was old enough to handle myself, but I knew my parents were just being safe. On Monday morning of the following week, I packed up my book bag and started walking. During the last week that I'd been dropped off, we never saw the woman or the car, so I really wasn't worried at all anymore. However, this time, when I got to that same spot in the woods, she was there again, sitting in her car, watching me.
What about the GNX?
I had a mini heart attack. This was too much to be a coincidence. Showing up twice on the trail that was basically our driveway, sitting in the same spot, and only showing up when I was walking alone. I passed her again. I took a few steps off the trail, but immediately the woman noticed. She turned her car on and drove up closer to me. I pretended to ignore her, walking faster into the woods. I heard her car door open and her footsteps crunching on the leaves behind me. But then she called out my name, like my full name, in this eerily calm and loving voice. I turned my head and looked at her. She had this dead stare and blank, expressionless face. Her eyes were tired and heavy, and she had this sickly look. I sprinted away, and after losing sight of her, I circled back through the woods to my house, where I called my parents. They was my parents to know exactly who the was. It was my dad's ex-wife from almost 2 decades ago. Apparently, she'd had mental health issues for a while and would have these horrifying episodes where she'd get obsessed with something and do disturbing things. The day I told them I saw her, My parents reported it to the police, knowing it had to be her. Police failed to do anything about it though, only checking up on her and saying she seemed normal. For that whole week
That bitch ain't
though,
normal.
she had been stalking our house, knowing that every time my parents left for work early, it meant I would be walking alone to school. My parents never told me what happened to her after this, or what she was trying to do to me, or why she was doing any of it. Hopefully, nothing like that happens again.
Motherfucker was dealing with a crazy YouTube. Back at the last video. I'm like, God, we don't know.
It's a wonderful world.
This was in 2019. I worked at a grocery store, usually closing shifts, and I lived alone in a small one-bedroom apartment. We had a lot of regulars at our store, customers that would come in all the time, and usually around the same time as well. One of these customers was a guy that came in right before closing a couple times a week. Nobody knew his name, but everybody knew of him because nobody liked customers that came in 10 minutes before the
So
store
the one who work with
closed.
me, pay attention.
Usually being the only cashier, I'd be the one interacting with him. He was always a bit strange. He didn't talk much, and always had a tired look on his face. This night, he came in as he always did, right before closing, grabbing a couple things and coming up to the register. I scanned everything, he paid, and he left. We didn't exchange any words aside from a simple greeting. 10 minutes later, I closed down the register.
Why the fuck is her voice so fucking deep?
The fuck is that? Shit! I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town.
I noticed the man was still in the parking lot. He was standing awkwardly outside of his car, with his hands at his side, just looking at the store. I got in my car and went home. I didn't have work the following day, so I stayed up a bit later than usual. I didn't get into bed until probably 1 a.m. Only moments after getting under the covers though, a bright light glared into my bedroom through one of the windows. I thought it was a neighbor pulling in, so I didn't really care about it. After a second, the light shut off, which unconsciously confirmed to me that it was just headlights. I fell asleep only a couple minutes later. I woke up in the night to what I thought was my phone ringing. The way I woke up, half asleep and in the middle of a dream, it was hard to tell what was real and what wasn't. I rubbed my eyes and tapped my phone on the nightstand. It was blank. No messages or phone calls came in. I wasn't sure what to think. I was going to just ignore it and go back to sleep, as I wasn't even fully awake yet to begin with. But the slightest thing caught my eye as I rolled back over.
Well, first time using my health allowance card. Let's see if it works. Oh, I guess it does.
How much did you spend?
The bedroom door was barely cracked open, not even enough to let any light in or anything. It was just uneven with the door frame, not latched shut. I always closed the door to my room, so seeing it not fully shut immediately woke me up. I got out of bed and walked over, pushing it closed to see if maybe it was stuck for some reason. It smoothly latched into the door frame, just like it always did, so there was no way I'd mistakenly left it open. I felt my body get shaky. My heart was pounding. But even with everything pointing otherwise, I still tried to convince myself that this
bitch something you shouldn't be worried about. I would have thought about the nigga that was standing there looking weird and shit beside the car. Gotta think about shit like that, twin. You can't be in jail. Hell no.
my driveway.
Same car.
I could only see the back half of it, but I instantly felt a rush of panic. Who was at my house? And was someone inside with me? I hurried over to the door again and flicked on the lights. I stood there by the door, panicking and thinking, realizing I should call 911 just to be safe. I looked at the nightstand that my phone was on, and just before I started to walk over there, I saw an eye looking back at me from a crack in the closet. My body shook and I let out a gasp, then spun around and sprinted out of my house. By the time I found a neighbor that would answer their door and call the police for me, at least 15 minutes had...
I'm talking about all that. I'm talking about, no, nigga, the fuck you doing? What you doing? That ain't destruction, nigga. Hell no, bitch. Yeah.
me. At least 15 minutes had gone by already. The car in my driveway was still there when officers showed up, but the man was gone.
What the fuck?
It didn't take long for them to use the car to track him down though, and I felt nauseous when it turned out to be the man from the grocery store.
What the reason was?
His reasonings for everything didn't make any sense, but it was clear he'd had his eye on me for a while now, and he was not mentally well. I think the only reason I'd woken up that night was because the man's phone rang while he was hiding, and he silenced it just as I woke up. If not for that, I don't know what would have happened to me, or if I'd even be here right now.
Screw me. He will get her. Damn. He will go get her. I don't know what the hell to think about these videos. Now the last one, that bit had. I don't know what the fuck though, but that bit the last one was straight. Second one, the bit was weird. I don't know what the fuck. Don't deal with me. It's crazy. I don't know how to deal with crazy ex. First one, all he had to do was, go outside and pistol up a couple times. He would have been like with Gen X. He would have been alright. You feel me? Niggas, you gotta be structured. But that's the end of the video. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I'm very thankful for, the little subscribers I got. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all, shit, Y'all some real niggas, you feel me? Appreciate y'all, cause goddamn, I ain't really expecting them goddamn couple videos to get them many views. So appreciate y'all, shout out y'all. Y'all some real folk, real niggas. Keep going about y'all dreams, keep shouting, keep doing y'all. It's the end of the video. Fuck.